Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of IFCO Television, broadcasting live this time from Boulder, Colorado, United States of America. And to my immediate stage right is Dr. Frankie Hahn, the screening ninja, and also the founder of IFCO Television. To my immediate stage left, of course, the beautiful, talented, loquacious Dr., or as we'd say in Spanish, Doctora, Richelle Knowles.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to IFCO Television.
Thank you.
And I got to tell you, what a vibe we're feeling here so far, and we're just getting started. Frank and I just spent a week on the road here in Colorado. What a gorgeous place to have a chiropractic seminar. And I see you and Danny working so hard every year to make this even better. You know, to up. It's got to be a tough gig to try to up it from last year, because last year was fantastic. Now we've got to do it better this year. What have you noticed so far in getting this thing together? What have you noticed some of the challenges that you had, and then what are some of the nice things that you're seeing so far?
Well, you know, it's definitely a lot of work, but it's so worth it. And I was sitting in some of the earlier CE classes today, just really thinking how grateful I am, and looking around at familiar faces, and it really feels like a family. And every year the same people come back, and there's new faces, but it just you see people from other walks of life in terms of chiropractic, other than just Mile High, and people that you went to school with, and it's really exciting, and it feels like a family, and the energy is definitely really high.
And that's what it seems like, that family environment seems to be growing, because I know I came to visit Colorado quite a few years ago, 4 years ago. Danny invited me out here to speak at one of these events. And it seemed like there was a damper switch on the profession as a whole, and I'm starting to see this excitement, this movement in Colorado, back to teaching innate chiropractic, back to the vitalistic principles on which chiropractic was founded. I think Mile High has been crucial to that.
Absolutely.
When you're looking at picking speakers for the event, which has to be super challenging because there's so many great ones in our profession, what are the kinds of things that you're looking to bring to the table here at Mile High that might be unique to the Mile High experience?
Right. So we're really looking for people who, you know, embody the subluxation-centered chiropractic office, and people who are in alignment with the vision that we want to create with that, what's in alignment with the IFCO and whatnot. And so, and we want people who, you know, are excited and they're passionate, people like Michael Viscarelli, who's a local doc, and, you know, he's amazing. I mean, he's a fireball, and that energy just amps up an event like this, but more importantly, it's changes our state and changes our country and changes the world in terms of chiropractic, because that's what we need to bring to the table. So.
Absolutely. Michael's going to be on the show a little bit, actually tomorrow. I wanted to talk with you more about, you were recently on the board, state board here in Colorado, and I wanted to know, how do you get on the board, and then what can the folks do to know about like the different challenges that you came across?
Right. So how do you get on the board? I don't really know. You know, I applied and I was interviewed, and I just spoke my truth and was who I am and was authentic, because that's, you know, I can't be anything but that. And so I said what I stood for and what my values were in terms of the profession, and I was on the board.
Okay. Awesome.
And challenges, you know, it's just, there's such a huge division in our profession, as we all know, and I think that was the biggest challenge for me, because I care so much about it, and it's and I just want to see, you know, subluxation principle chiropractors be able to practice in the way that we deserve to be able to practice, and so I think that was probably the biggest challenges for me. And the good thing that came out of it is just the awareness of, in terms of what's going on, and making sure, you know, to help support people and teach them how to dot all their I's and cross all their T's, and kind of be a, you know, a source of support for that.
And you answer directly to the governor, right? Would that be the
well,
buck stops with you guys?
I actually never met the governor, but the Department of Regulatory Agencies was who, you know, we worked with, and they were really wonderful. And so, you know, I think if people are doing things with integrity, and that's what makes the difference.
Yeah, and part of the vision that I know
Mhm.
that you and Daniel have had
Mhm.
for this Mile High is
Mhm.
to kind of excite or inspire people to
Mhm.
get more involved
Mhm.
in the political aspect and the educational components of
Mhm.
chiropractic, and to kind of show people that you really can make a change if you get involved in
Mhm.
that change. One of the things that we've noticed in
Mhm.
a movement in the United States,
Mhm.
and granted, it's a small amount of chiropractors that
Mhm.
are pushing for maybe to bring drugs into the profession or other, let's say, allopathic treatment protocols into the chiropractic profession. Uh, you stepping up to the plate there and serving on the board, I can imagine. I mean, I know you pretty well, but I
Mhm.
can imagine that you're not waking up in the morning going, "I can't wait
Right.
to to
Right.
go to battle today," or
Right.
to
Mhm.
to be involved in politics. I know I'm involved in the political process in chiropractic.
Mhm.
There's a lot of aspects of it that I don't
Mhm.
enjoy. However, we kind of have a moral obligation
Absolutely.
to participate in the political process, because if not, as you stated so
Mhm.
well, you can wind up losing that ability to detect, analyze, and adjust vertebral subluxation in your office, and that's would be something I think tragic for
Oh,
humanity.
it's tragic and it's scary. And I love what you said. Tomorrow I'm speaking, and I'm speaking on the art, science, philosophy, and philanthropy of chiropractic.
Interesting.
And because for me, philanthropy, not just in chiropractic but in other areas of my life, it's so important. And giving back to the profession is kind of like my new soapbox, I guess,
Yeah.
that I'm on. Even if it's something that's not necessarily all that fun,
Yeah.
like hanging around with all these people.
Yeah.
It's so important. We've been the silent majority for way too long,
Yeah.
and it's time for people to step up.
I love the way
Mhm.
you use the word philanthropy, because
Mhm.
most people, when they hear philanthropy,
Mhm.
they think money. They're thinking Donald
Mhm.
Trump. They're thinking I have to be a
Mhm.
billionaire. And there are a lot of chiropractors now that are struggling. There's a lot of chiropractors
Mhm.
that are maybe not living a financially abundant life
Mhm.
at this point. And I think that's certainly one of the reasons why you should be at Mile High, to
Right.
hang out with some of the greatest chiropractors on the world and learn those tools, tips, and strategies to create more abundance in your life. But philanthropy could also be giving of your time. If you
Mhm.
don't have the finances to maybe step up and support the political operations or support the
Mhm.
educational institutions, certainly serving on a state board, my goodness,
Mhm.
I would take that over any donation, right,
Mhm.
of finances.
Right.
That's so valuable, and that can have such a massive impact on the direction of chiropractic and where it's going.
Right. And I agree with you 100%. There's giving of your time or your talent. And you know, people may not have the talents to give. They may not have the money to give, but you can give of your time. You can be involved in an
Mm-hmm.
organization. You can help a school by going and volunteering, or you can mentor a student or a new grad. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to write a big check to an organization or a foundation or a school or anything like that, but there's other ways that you can serve. And I think people go through times in their life, and I'm guilty of it as well, where you're busy in practice and you have a young family, and you're just moving in that direction, and then you wake up and you say, I've been asleep for way too long, and it's time to wake up, and it's time to serve and to give on a bigger level. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Mhm.
Now, I know you're a Sherman grad.
Mhm.
I am also. Let's talk a little about Sherman grad
Mhm.
or Sherman College. Why is it important to support a school
Mhm.
such as Sherman?
Right. So I love Sherman College,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so grateful. I'm so proud when people ask me where I went to school to be able to say that I went to Sherman College. And my twin brother is a chiropractor in Florida, and he went there first, and I went to visit him. And I just fell in love with the school. It totally changed the course of my life, of what I was doing. I was actually in pharmacy school, which
Wow.
is pretty
Wow.
crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
I always say I have a lot of adjustments to give for the prescriptions that I filled.
Mm-hmm.
And by with him with going to visit him, I just got so turned on by the philosophy and the energy of the school, and it just felt right to me. And graduating from there, you just feel so proud, and going back and seeing the direction that the school's in and how things are just exploding there.
Right.
It's so exciting to be a part of that.
And you met Danny in college, right?
Yes.
Yep. Chiropractic College.
I actually met him on my tour.
You did.
Of chiropractics of Sherman.
Isn't that something?
And but we were just friends, and then he had graduated and moved back, and I met him at a Barnes and Nobles, and he asked me out, and I had to work, and I said no.
Awesome.
And then I took a rain check because I'm still pretty crazy about him. So, but yeah, it was, it's just like you were called to be a chiropractor. I think that special person in your life, you were meant to meet them as well, and how magical.
Richelle, we have some students watching too.
Right.
So let's give them a little inspiration or motivation. If they meet a potential spouse, what's it like being a husband and wife in practice?
Wow. Yeah, I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
It's really fun. We're like a tag team. When one of us is at work, we're fully immersed and we're there, we're in the practice. When one of us is at home with the kids, that's how we've kind of split our life that way, where we have some overlap, but when we're with the kids, we're fully with our kids. And that was really important to us. Whenever we decided to have children, we said we wanted to raise our kids. We didn't want someone else to raise our kids for us. And there were times, that we both needed to be there at the same time and whatnot. But it's kind of part of like the chiropractic philosophy. It's like that's the lifestyle that we wanted. And we love it. I mean, we probably talk shop a little too much because we do all this other stuff too, but it's a true blessing.
How do you guys choose Colorado?
So Danny's mom and stepfather, Donald Epstein and Jackie Knowles, they moved here about 25 years ago, and we came to visit and just fell in love. And we looked all around the state at other places that we wanted to practice, and something just kept pulling us back to Boulder. And we're really glad it's a great place to raise a family. And this is you guys have just been traveling all around, seeing it. It's breathtaking.
Now, when are you moving to Crested Butte?
I know. This is what I hear.
I got to tell you.
Right. It's pretty nice.
Holy
it's
smokes.
Beautiful.
No, Boulder's great. Boulder's absolutely beautiful. And this is one of the reasons I recommend people to come to Mile High. It's phenomenal. For this, I like to combine my chiropractic seminars with the family and bring the family to those type of events. And now, of course, my wife is pregnant right now, so she's not very mobile. But if she was coming here next year, one of the great things is where you have it set at the midpoint of August. Out here in the West, a lot of kids are back at school. Us folks in the East Coast, we don't go back to school till the first, second week of September.
Right.
So we're flying the whole family out here next year because Boulder is a great staging point for some of the most beautiful areas, I would say, in the nation. You got the Rocky Mountain National Forest. You have Gunnison National Forest, White River National Forest, Sand something. That's, and it's all there. And you want to do horseback riding. You want to do mountain biking. You want to do hiking. You want to do
rafting.
nothing. You want to do thermal baths. Whatever you want to do. They have it going on here. And skiing in the wintertime. But I mean, gosh, this is such a great place to have a chiropractic seminar and to bring. And of course, Denver is central to all airlines fly here direct. So it's really a great place to have a seminar.
Thank you.
In closing, we know that you're also a member of the IFCO.
Yes.
Okay. Why is that? Why do you support the IFCO? Why do you think it's so important?
Because it represents my values and what I stand for. And I think that just like we were talking about giving back and philanthropy and time and talent and whatnot, being part of an organization or having your malpractice insurance with an organization or being aligned with a school that is in alignment with your values, that's when you're, living in integrity and authenticity and being true to what you believe in. And so I love the IFCO.
And that is one of the things that I've seen here, Frank, that's unique about Mile High versus many other chiropractic seminars that I've been to. I'm asked to speak at almost all of them. Right? One of the things I've noticed about this one is they're very particular about being integritous, being congruent with the chiropractic principle. And you'll see that not only with the people that they choose to be on stage, but also in the vendors that are here. And that's I think that's a trend that, frankly, I think, Dr. Scott Garber, Dr. Danny Knowles, yourself, Dr. Richelle, that's a trend that you guys pretty much have started. I know Schubel Vision, we're doing the same thing. And that's what we're starting to see in chiropractic seminars per se is, it's not just a free-for-all. It's not a sell all your products from the stage thing. You're actually thinking about the person who's going to attend the seminar.
Absolutely.
What level of value can I get? What level of real-world information can I bring out? And how, through doing that, can you connect them with other people that are congruent on board that mission? And in doing so, the synchronicity and the maximum effect principle is taking place.
Absolutely. It's clarity, and it's staying in your lane and being clear. And we feel like this represents us as well, and so we want companies and vendors to represent who we are. And I just think it's really important. Vital.
And it was so beautiful here in Colorado. We've been hiking and all the trails since Monday, and I'm just in awe of the whole state. I can't believe how beautiful it actually is. I've heard about it, but now we actually saw everything. And so for folks who are thinking about coming out, definitely do so. Make it a commitment coming out for next year. There's going to be a Mile High 4.
There'll be a Mile High 4. I'm sure Danny will let you know.
Richelle,
Yes.
Before you go, I wanted to tell you about a very special omen that Frank and I saw while we were on the road today. We woke up this morning in Aspen, right? And so we drove through Independence Pass. And just before we got to Independence Pass, I'm telling you, Richelle, it looked like this Sherman tank crossing the road, but like it had like giraffe legs, and it was just this gigantic animal. It was a moose, is what it was. I had never seen one in the wild. It's very rare.
Close.
And that up close. And frankly, that close to my little Subaru. It was like going to make mincemeat out of the Subaru. So I was reading in the Utes. Now, when I refer to the Utes, I'm not talking about youths, in New York. The Ute is an actual UTE. It's a tribe of Native Americans here in Colorado, in the region where we were. And they said that if you saw a moose in the morning, that was a sign of abundance for the rest of your day or weekend.
There you go.
So how do you like that?
You,
Yeah,
so I think it's a great omen.
That's wonderful. I have to agree.
Thank you. By the way, if you
Right.
mention that, please credit me.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Richelle, we appreciate
Thank you so much.
Thank you
I
for coming
appreciate
on the show.
all you
Yeah.
guys do in supporting this event and our profession. We're really grateful.
One more thing.
Yes.
I know that there's a lot of men and women that are watching this program right now, and I know from a lot of females that I talk to that when I mention the name Richelle Knowles, it's like, like there's a level of wow, she's really phenomenal, she's doing something. But I know you, and I know that's true. But I also know you're very accessible as well. If people wanted to get in contact with you, how could they do that?
They can message me on Facebook, or that's probably now with Messenger the easy. I'm not on Facebook a lot, but I get the Messenger alerts, or email me or call me. I'm really accessible.
Excellent.
So
okay, great. So
I'll help out anybody that needs it.
I know you will, and that's why I asked. And folks, as Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues. Success, leaving a clue here. So thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Richelle.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Richelle.
Bye.
Holy
Well,
smokes,
that was
guys.
something, huh?
Yes,
What a way to
absolutely.
start up off
Yep.
IFCO television. We got the powerhouse, Richelle Knowles, of course, moving to Crested Butte very soon. It's going to be great. I've already arranged everything with Jay Komarick.
Yes,
And
nice.
I got to tell you, folks, you really, can we mention it again? You really got to get out to Colorado. I've been to
Right.
Glacier, which was my favorite in the United States, and it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I was at...
Where is Glacier?
Glacier's up in Montana.
Oh,
Okay, it's gorgeous. I have to tell you, it's fantastic. You should go. That was my favorite spot.
Okay.
I went to Rocky Mountain National Park,
Last year.
right? Last year.
Yep.
Glacier was still my favorite. I went this time to Crested Butte, Colorado.
Right.
Guess where my favorite is now?
Where?
Crested Butte. I'm telling you, I think I'm going to become the mayor of Crested Butte.
I've never been to Glacier before, but hands down, this is my favorite.
You know, it is like Frank, we were talking.
Mm-hmm.
It is your ideal if you've ever seen westerns, and you know they're out in the middle of nowhere, and the Native Americans are all over the place, and there's buffalo, and that's kind of how it is. I mean, it's very, very rural and very unspoiled. You know, and I, you know, one of the things that we were talking about, Frank, we're kind of you know, selfishly a little bit pleased that the most of America just sits behind television and eats potato chips, because that allows us to get out on the trails.
No one on the trails.
There's nobody
we
there.
had it all to ourselves, like the kings.
We were on this, you know, we went to this place called Keebler Pass, and there was these 3 mountain lakes that we hiked
Oh
up
my
to,
goodness!
right?
And they were hidden too.
They were hidden lakes, and we hike up to these things, and we didn't see a soul, you know? And so the thing is, like, you're saying there's 365 million Americans, right? They must all be over at Rocky Mountain National Park and Glacier, because there's nobody out at these places. So you really got it all to yourself with that same level of beauty. And again, you're only 3-4 hours from Boulder. And again, if you're coming from anywhere other than the West, all the kids are in school out here at this time. So you have, you know, everybody's done with their vacations at 15th of August. This is the time when they do Mile High. Great time to bring out the family and really get them out in nature. You know, I was in Rome this past like 2 weeks ago. Okay. Visiting Dr. Joe Borio's Italian villa out there, and I went to Rome, and then I went out in the middle of nowhere on the Italian peninsula there, and you know, I was in nature with my kids and connecting with them, and there's something supremely valuable about that. You turn off all the phones, right? We didn't have phone access. Frank, I thought was going to have a conniption the first day. There was no Wi-Fi. You know? There was no cell service, and it's just you're back to nature. You're back to the goodness. You know what? It was the other cool thing about Crested Butte, Frank, Crested Butte, Colorado. You open up the tap, and you can fill up your water right out of the tap. Right? There's no tap chlorinated. It's absolutely ready to drink. It's coming from a mountain aquifer, Frank. Yeah.
Guess who just walked in?
Who?
Dr. Daniel.
Oh my goodness.